Hey, everybody. You are here for an episode of Wake Up Call, the podcast, and I am your host, Christina Previtt. Joining me today is Camile Deans. She is the founder of RedLips For Change. And I'd like to introduce you by reading what I think is your mission statement that I got online. And I know
Okay.
you were making some changes to it, but I felt like it was a really good description of what Red Lips does.
Okay.
So we're going to start out with that. Red Lips for Change is a nonprofit organization centered on creating a holistic, supportive atmosphere for all women. Our aim is to empower and remind women of their beauty and strength, especially those who have lost or forgotten their worth. The organization utilizes wellness strength based workshops as a primary tool to encourage women to improve their lifestyle choices, thereby facilitating meaningful change. Red Lips for Change believes that this type of wellness support is critical to assisting women towards the realization and actualization that through the practice of self care and acknowledgement of her abilities, she can be healthier and of better service to others.
Yep, that is correct.
I love that. That is so powerful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're just here trying to empower and do the work one woman at a time.
Another beautiful statement. Did you write this?
I did. I did. Most of the content on the website I wrote. I got some assistance from one of my friends, and she came through and helped me where I needed to put a little more volume in what we do. So, yeah.
And did you revise it recently, or is this the updated version?
So, that is our overall aim, what we do. So the mission is Red Lips for Change takes a holistic approach in empowering women by reminding them that they're beautiful by boosting self-esteem, confidence, and empowerment. Therefore, as such, our overarching mission is to create a space that promotes awareness and wellness services for women to improve their psychosocial, mental, emotional, and social health while seeking to fulfill and increase the meaning of their lives. So that is our direct mission.
Isn't that what we all need?
Yes, 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 yes. I know I focus on women in the underserved population, but I can tell you that we all need these. Like, this is something that we can all benefit from. And I try to, like, this is something I want to do with my friends. Just
Yeah.
have like a wellness day for us. Just
Yeah.
a day where we can do our empowerment exercise. We can just let our shoulders down, just remind my friends that they're doing great, they're beautiful. Just empower them. So that's something that I want to do. And I said I wanted to do it before the new year, but maybe early in the year.
Yeah, it's interesting because women, I think, can either be an incredible source of encouragement and support for each other,
Hmm.
and sometimes the opposite. It just depends on the context and how you approach it. But I think we all have this voice in our heads that tell us what we're not doing right. Right?
Right,
Like,
right, right,
"Oh, you
right.
need to do this more. You need to be more that. You need to be more whatever. You need to be thinner. You need to be better looking. You need to have more money in the bank. You need to have a better job. You need to,
You're
have
not
all
meeting
the."
your goals. You're not doing
Right.
this. You're not doing that. And we can be very hard on ourselves as well. So just, and when you said that as women, we sometimes need to hear that from another woman,
Mm,
there's something about a woman giving you a compliment that's
yes.
different from a man giving you a compliment.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And it
Hmm.
could be someone you know that you've known forever, or it could be someone you don't know. And sometimes when I'm out in my travels and I see a woman and I think, gosh, she's so pretty, or I love that outfit, or whatever it is, I think to myself, well, why don't I tell her that?
Just tell her. I try to practice that as well. Just be like, oh, I love your shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what kind of day that person's having.
That is correct.
You don't
That
know
is
what they're
correct.
dealing with. There could be some
Mm-hmm.
trauma they've experienced recently, or maybe they have a sick family member, or maybe they are sick,
That
and
is
you
correct.
could make their day.
Yeah. And that's I mean, so just think about telling someone that how they look, just a simple compliment. And then going deeper into that, helping these women, you know, from a self-awareness perspective,
Yeah.
helping them to move from one space to the next. Because sometimes we don't even know what we want or how do we get what we want. So, that's something that my organization does, just helping women from where they are to where they want to be.
So can you give an example? What is a typical client for Red Lips?
So, Red Lips, are we want to work with women who are in the underserved population through organizations. So we're not choosing these women individually, but we choose them through shelters and through organizations that support women. For example, supportive housing, shelters, group homes, wherever there are women who are broken. So that's our clientele. What we do is we do workshops with these women. And so far, I've only done group workshops. So we have like a schedule, what we're coming in, what we're doing, and we do a lot of exercises because I working with women in this population, I realized that it's not easy for them to just come out and speak and tell you, oh, I need help here or there. And sometimes they're like, I don't need to take care of myself because I'm taking care of my kids and that's enough gratification for me. So what these exercises does is we show them what taking care of yourself looks like. And a lot of times they misunderstand what taking care of yourself looks like, and they think that taking care of yourself is spending money, but it's not.
Yeah.
Because sleeping, resting is taking care of yourself. Taking a bath is taking care of yourself. Alone time. And we as parents, mothers, we underestimate alone time. Like time to rejuvenate. We need that. So
Absolutely.
it's just like them showing them that it's not about giving, 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 but it's about slowing down and regrouping, rejuvenating so that I can give more.
Give yourself permission to have some time for yourself.
Yes. Yes. I feel like in today's society, it's so underrated
Yeah, it
because we
is.
want to go, 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 achieve, achieve, do this, do this. But you're not taking the time to slow down.
It's true, especially in this Northeast area because you're in the Bronx, right?
Yes,
So I think,
definitely.
a lot of my audience is in New Jersey. So I think us up in this Northeast area, we're just all crazy. Everybody is always in a hurry, and
Mm-hmm.
we're not even, I think, sometimes really connecting with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to other states, little towns where you're driving down the road and people are just waving at you?
They're
And
saying
you're like,
hi.
I don't know them,
I feel like
but
I
they're
don't
all waving.
answer because I'm so taken aback.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Hi, how are you? Good morning." And I'm just like, "Nothing."
Yeah, you're like, what does he want? He's gonna sell me something. He
Right.
wants
But
something. And then you
yeah, I
realize,
get it.
no, they're
But
just friendly.
it's different. Yeah, I feel like here that is the importance of doing this work here, this wellness work, because it's such a hustle and bustle and nobody's slowing down.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
it's true.
maybe the work would not be as needed in a small town because they're slowing down. There's a slower pace. But here I feel like, yeah, it's needed.
Absolutely. And I think women especially were busy always taking care of everyone else,
Yes.
that we don't ever put ourselves first unless you really make an effort and prioritize that.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
tell me.
you don't have to feel guilty to
Mm,
prioritize that either.
absolutely not. No, nobody should feel guilty about that. And there's that saying, you put the oxygen mask on yourself first.
Yes, before you put it on others. But as
Yeah.
women, we put it on our kids first
Yes. Yes.
before we put it on ourselves.
But there can be guilt for that. I think a lot of people have that mom guilt or woman
That's the
guilt, whatever you
thing.
want to call it.
And that is true. That is so true, because when I do this work with women, I'm telling you, their first thing is to say, I don't need to because I take care of my kids. So
Yeah.
it's not a necessity for them.
Well, they deserve it.
They
Do you
do.
find that a lot of them deep down, because they've been through a lot of different things, do you think sometimes they feel like they don't deserve it?
Yeah. Yep. I do. I really do. And it's just like trying to help them to rethink, to reprogram, to see that, you do need to take care of themselves. And one of the questions that I ask every single workshop is, when was the last time you did something for yourself? And I ask in a circle, I need to know, when was the last time you did something for yourself? And people are like dumbfounded.
They're like, what do you mean?
They're like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. And then when I show them what taking care of yourself looks like, everybody's like, oh yeah, yeah. It felt so good. And when they realize that they did that, let's say they realize that, oh, last week I had to, sleep in. And they're like, it felt so good. And I'm like, yeah, that's what it looks like. And that's how it feels. It's going to feel good.
I think this is something that all women can learn. It's not just
Mhm.
women in a shelter or a group home. It's anybody, all of us, you, me, a CEO
That
of a
is correct.
company.
Yeah.
So, I think that's definitely something I hear that a lot of women talk about that they struggle with. Tell us about the name though. Where did Red
Okay.
Lips
So,
come from?
so red lips for change. So I used to work in a supportive housing, and I always wear my lipsticks, red, purple, whatever color. And the woman, they would come up to me and they would be like, "Oh, Camille, what lipstick is that? I love it. Give me some, blah, blah. I want to try that." And, I spoke to one of my coworkers and I was telling him that this is something I want to do. I feel like I want to empower women through lipsticks. And then he was like, red lips. So I'm just like, red lips for change. Maybe red lips. So it was that easy because I'm always wearing my red lips. And
It's
he's
original.
always calling me red lips. So
I love it. It's original
yeah.
and I love your logo. So for anybody who's watching, you can see that in the background, but if you're listening on the podcast, it's
Yeah.
awesome. Who designed that? Did you design that or did you have someone else do that?
No, one of my best friends, she's a graphic designer, so it was easy. I told her, I said I need either a lipstick in the logo or a lip or something. So she just like did some doodles and she came up with this.
And of course you are wearing bright red lipstick today.
Yes.
I love it. It looks good. I don't think I can pull it
Thank
off.
you. Thank you.
So tell me more about what was the seedling for you to start this? Because it's one thing to think about ways that we can help the community, but it's another thing to actually start a business that's focused
Okay.
on that.
Yeah. Um so after we spoke about that and I said to him,
Mhm.
when I have this little talk with these women, because this supportive housing supported women who came out of a shelter. So, when we sat there and we spoke about the lipstick, and I said, yeah, I saw how they felt. I saw how this small conversation turned into something where, they felt good inside. So I said, I want to empower women. And I also did a master's in public administration. So I did a lot of nonprofit and small organizations. So I said to myself, this is something that I can do. I can start my own organization and I can see how it goes. So I started to do the research and see who could benefit from this. And I said, I have a lot of people in my community that they don't know how good they look. So I started out literally by saying, I want to remind women how beautiful they are. So as you can see, it says, Red Lips for Change, woman, you are beautiful. Just to remind women that they are beautiful. And then in doing that, I said, I might have to go deeper. So I said, you know what? I'm going to be a certified wellness coach so I can have the resources. So I'm not just telling you something that I don't know anything about. I need to have the background, the research, the skill set. So then I can pour into women and helping them to get through their goals, to just be more functioning. So, one thing from just literally using a lipstick to give a woman to say you're beautiful, to remind you that you're beautiful, then I said, this needs more substance. So I put that substance in it. And then I said, you know what? I could do these workshops. So it's just from one thing, and you're realizing that I need something else because there is a need, one, that I have to learn how I'm going to advise this population. So it's just one thing, getting your education together, just getting everything coming together, one step, the next step, and getting help from my friends as well.
Well, I want to go into what kind of work you've done before that led to this, but I feel like we should back up a little bit because from having talked to you before, I know that you are an immigrant from Jamaica, and you had talked about immigrating here. So can you talk a little bit about that? You had shared some personal stories when we spoke, and I wanted to share those for the audience again too.
Yeah, so just coming here from Jamaica, because Jamaica is a developing country. So coming from a developing country to a developed country, there were so many lessons that I had to learn. So I remember I told you that before I started working at the shelter, I I said to myself, working with people with mental health is something that I would never do.
Yes.
Yeah. And because of my experiences, my traumatic experiences in Jamaica with people with mental health, just being on the street. So that is something that was in my head. And like, no, 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 no. I know that's something that I cannot do. So I got that job through a temp agency. So I went there without knowing where I'm going. So when I went there, I realized that, oh, so I will be working with people with mental health. So what is this? Is this a test? What is going on? Because this is something that I don't want to do. But, just being thrown in the situation, everything moving fast, I realized, you know what? This isn't so bad. This isn't so bad, honestly. So, working with people with mental health, realizing why they do the things that they do, realizing that this is not something that they're doing on their own, but it is a disease. It's something that you can control. So, just like this entire position changed my mindset. And then I realized that these are people that I can work with. I can help them. I can do this. So, just coming here, getting a whole different set of experiences from what I had back home, it's just something that put me on my way that I needed to go.
So, but at that moment, you could have said, "This is not for me. I don't want to work here." You didn't have to do it, but you
But the
did it.
thing is, nothing was happening in terms of they were okay people. They
But you
were
had to
fine.
show up and work there to see that.
I had to. I had to. So
So,
I
what
feel
made you
like
do
I was
that?
blindsided for a reason.
I mean, did you think at the time, maybe I should give this a chance?
I did. I did. I did. I said, like, something in my mind said to me, maybe this is a test, Camille. Maybe this is a test. And
Yeah.
I said, I was furious though, because I called the guy and it was just like, you didn't tell me what this was. And he's like, just do it for now because they're just starting. They need someone, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, fine. But it worked out because it was such a good experience because it was like a melting pot as well, because
Yeah.
there were so many different personalities, so many different backgrounds. So it was just like a reservoir of education there
Yeah. Well, they say you have to get out of your comfort zone, right, to grow and
to
evolve.
grow.
Yeah. And what had you been doing before that?
So
Before
before
you
that, I used to work at a media company and I hated it.
So
I did. I
you
have a bachelor's in communications.
oh, that's funny. But
Yeah.
so you wanted to do something where you were helping the community, but you didn't want to work with mentally ill people.
No.
Okay. So when you envisioned going to work with, not communications, but doing something where you're serving the community, what did you think that was going to be
I
originally?
don't know. I feel like it was maybe an office job where, I'm doing a background paperwork. I feel like I didn't know I was going to be thrown in the situation where I'm communicating with people. But I'm a communicator. Like, that's what I do. I'm so good at people, like speaking with people, like personalities. So I feel like that was just it. Like, I had to do that. Like, I'm not a sit behind the desk type of girl. So I don't
Mhm.
know why I even thought that I was gonna do that.
Yeah. Well, it seems like it led you to where you are now.
I did it, but I know that working at that media company, I hated it.
Really?
I did. I was like, I
That's
need to do something more meaningful. And that's how I left. And I signed up with this agency and he gave me this opportunity.
that's a big difference.
It is such a big difference. It's such a big difference because, you know, working with, because I've worked with a lot of nonprofits, and working with nonprofits, it's so different from working with a corporate organization. So it's
Yeah.
just, you had to make that adjustment. And I'm literally in it because I love it, because otherwise it would drive you crazy because working for nonprofits, it's just such a different world.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. You're a
It
little
is.
Well, I haven't done it. So my perception of it, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, is that I don't think anybody goes into that field thinking they're going to get rich, right? Like
No,
no nobody's thinking that. Um
you
although
have to want to do the work.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So there are some other professions. Mine, for instance, where there is a perception that a lot of us are that we're all rich, that all lawyers are rich, and they're only doing it for the money. Um, but I know because I've been a lawyer for 16 years that that's actually not true. So, so is your title executive director there?
So I am the managing director because I manage all the things. I have a board. I don't have a staff as yet, but that's something that I'm looking into expanding for the coming year. So, I'm trying to get the pieces together. I'm supposed to meet with a marketing person to see how I can get that structured, get that out there. So hopefully sometime next year I can have a staff.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful, and I don't see how you can fail because this is very authentic for you.
Yes, yes.
And I do want to go back to Jamaica
Mm-hmm.
and talk about, because you had shared some personal things with me when we spoke prior to this interview about your experience leaving Jamaica and coming to the States. Can we talk about that?
Sure.
So I don't remember exactly what you said, but you talked about getting acclimated to life here and how different it was.
Yeah. So yeah, that is something that it is different. It is so different because I feel as if, you know, Jamaica is so small, so cultured, and then you come here and it's like you're thrown into the ocean. So it's like a fight or flight type of situation. So, coming here, I knew that I had to make it somehow. And it's just like so different, honestly, from being in an island to coming into New York City. 'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
New York is crazy.
And how old were you?
I was 21 or
Okay, so you
22.
were young.
Yeah, I was young and I came straight into college. So I had no friends. I had to start over with my life. So it was just juggling. And that's when I did my communication. So I was hell bent on going into communication, doing journalism. And I was like so hyped about it. But I feel like, it just didn't work out. That's just not what I wanted to do. But I was
Yeah.
hyped.
That's pretty ballsy.
Yeah. So just coming here and having to slow down in terms of what I wanted and realizing that life is totally different once you come here and live here and just like relearning how to get used to a different culture, a different world, because New York City is a different world.
Well, it's a different world even if you live in the United States. I mean, if you live in Iowa and you go to New York City,
I feel
that's
like it's a different world.
yeah.
It totally is. So, but you know what? I can say that when I came here, I feel like I had support because I knew people that were here. So, and one of my friends that I met at college, she's still my really, really good friend. And I have to say that, well, I had two friends and they helped me to get acclimated with the culture, to know this, to know that. So it was easier to transition for me.
Well, I want to talk about why you decided to go to New York. I mean, what was your
Well, I
life
guess
like
for
in
a better
Jamaica?
life.
For a better life.
Yeah, and my mom came here. So, I came right behind her. So I feel like, just for a better life because uh well, I mean, a lot of people are successful in Jamaica, but you come here and you say, let me see how much further I can go, how I can thrust myself. But just for a better life, I should say, more opportunities, things like
Well,
that.
I haven't been to Jamaica, but I feel like the average American probably thinks of Jamaica as a vacation spot.
Yeah, they
So,
do. They're like, we're always chill out there. People are just like laid back. But I feel like it's different once you live there because it's really nice, but it's really rough as well.
mhm,
So it's
yeah,
just like a juxtaposition because it's
yeah,
it's really nice. I love going home on vacations. I love 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 it. But Jamaica is such a rough place.
yeah.
Like, yeah, so I just coming here for better opportunities.
So you started thinking about coming here. Your mom had already come.
Mm-hmm.
So it made sense for you to follow suit. But
Mm-hmm.
what were you dreaming of when you wanted to come here, that like opportunities that maybe didn't exist there? Was it to go to school?
School, definitely. School, definitely, because I came and I went to school and I said, I'm gonna do this journalism thing, because in Jamaica with journalism, it's such a tiny, tiny sector. Like it's the same people on the TV, on the radio for years and years and years. For you to get into that, then it's just like a needle in a haystack.
You got to wait for someone to
To
retire or
die.
die. Yeah. Why was
Yeah,
journalism the
no, and
thing?
I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but
No,
it
I
is the
know. I
truth.
know. No, I get it. You're
No,
right.
it's so the truth. Like, it's the media in Jamaica, it's so tiny.
Yeah, I really want to go to Jamaica now.
No, you should. It's fun. It's really fun, honestly.
Well, that's what I hear. I hear from people that go on vacation. But
It is fun.
whenever I go anywhere, especially if it's someplace like beachy, an island where it seems like, oh, it's so beautiful. Why would we should live here? Why wouldn't anybody want to live here? But you never really know what it's like to
live
actually
there.
live
And
there.
it's just like having a pool in your backyard, you
Yeah.
barely go in it.
Yes.
Because where I'm from in Jamaica, I'm right by the beach, and you would think I would go to the beach every day, but I didn't. So it's
Mhm.
just like you have a pool, you never go in this pool.
Yeah. Well, I live in New Jersey, so I'm right next to New York City, and I never go. I
To New
very
York
rarely
City.
go. I hardly ever go.
It's the same thing. Yeah,
I know,
you barely
right?
ever, you don't come
Well, I mean, it's hard now with COVID, but
and everything. Yeah.
when the weather's nice in the summer and the spring, I would go. I wouldn't take advantage of it too often, but I would go. I'd go see a Broadway show or something like that. But New York's so big. There's so much rich culture there. I mean, there's so many things to do. Even
And
just
you're
walk
right next door.
around. Yeah, but still I'm not going because I'm not on vacation, which I'm doing in finger quotes. So we all get tied into our lives and all the busy things that we have to do because we're all so
That is
busy.
true.
And that's just how it is that I don't get there very often. So
Right. So it's the same thing living in
yes.
Jamaica. Like, you think you're taking advantage of all these things that's there, and you don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that. So what did you think you were going to do with journalism? Did you have dreams of being like Barbara Walters or, who did you
I
want
think I
to?
wanted to be like a writer.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Like a
maybe
newspaper person.
newspaper, New York Times.
Did you ever
Like,
do that? Did you write? Did you ever try to do that like as an intern or something?
I interned at MTV.
Oh, cool. That's
I
awesome.
did. And they also had a Bronx Journal paper. I
Mhm.
wrote for the Bronx Journal the entire time I was at school.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, I
Did
mean,
you
I
enjoy
feel like
that? Nah, it wasn't floating your boat.
I don't know.
Yeah, it
But
didn't
I
light you
do
up.
like writing, and I still like communications, but maybe on a tiny scale.
But then what did you start thinking when you started to realize, like, I don't think this communications media stuff it's not lighting my fire. What did you start thinking that you wanted to do?
Well, I knew that I wanted to do something more meaningful. And I
Mhm.
was just sitting at my desk doing these ads, speaking to people, trying to plug their time in for their
Yeah.
ads. And I'm just doing that over and over. I'm just like working with radio stations, and I'm working with all these top executives. And I'm just like, what next? I
Yeah.
want to do this.
I felt like a job.
Yeah, it was a job. It was a job. And it was okay. It was, the perks was nice, but I just sat there, and I feel like something in my brain clicked. And I was just like, I don't want to do this. I don't.
Well, good that you
So
got out of it because so many people have that experience, but they don't leave because it sort of becomes what they know.
so you know how I got out of it? I just started looking for a job. And then I got this job as a program assistant with a STEM program. So what that program did was they helped inner city kids to go into programs that Columbia had, NYU had. So they were like a feeder program. And when I did that, it didn't last long because that organization did not work out. So
Yeah.
that did not last long, but it gave me a little piece of seeing what I want to do because I was really helping these kids, and they would come, they would get the help that they need, they would get the support that they need. And I was just like, oh my God, I love this. So, from that job, then I got the temp job, and then that was it. I was in the nonprofit world, and I did a grant writing certificate. So I also do grant writing. And I just did one thing. After I did the grant writing certificate, I said, you know what, let me get a master's. So I got my master's, and then I'm like, all right, I do need to do this wellness coaching. So it's just one thing, just like trying to build myself.
It sounds like you're helping people that you might have had some things in common with when you were coming to the state.
Yes.
So I always try to find out what really drives somebody, like why do they end up doing what they do?
I feel like it's an innate purpose and how you feel. Like I feel like when I help people and when I do this, I just smile on the inside because a lot of people don't have the resources. They don't. Yeah. They don't have the resources. So connecting them with the resources is like, I think I was also telling you that, the difference between here and Jamaica is that here there's so many resources.
Yeah, you said
so
that.
many things, so many programs, so many help that people can get. But the thing about it is they don't know how to. So just connecting people with the resources that they need to go where they need is just like put a smile on my face, and I see how they react to that.
I think that too, people have different backgrounds, and something that I've always been interested in is the cycle of poverty and how it seems to kind of move through generations. And I think a lot of times people may have the desire to change that, but they don't know how.
They don't.
They haven't had influences.
And you know what? Like, people can be judgy and they can say, oh, why don't they just go do that?
Yeah.
They don't know how to.
Just leave.
Yeah, just leave.
Just stop. It's like telling a drug addict, just stop.
You go to school?
Yes, just go to school. And yeah. That's easy to say.
It is easy to say. But one of the things that I've learned is that your background, your generation, that has a lot to do with the choices you make. And I must commend my mom because my mother is a teacher and she's always been someone who has searched for resources. So she's always upgrading herself. She's always making sure she knows what's going on. So I think your background, that has a lot to do with the things that you do. And, a lot of people in New York City that I've come to realize, that I've worked with, that I've seen, they just didn't have that perspective. They don't like, perspective is a very important thing. And the broader your scope is, the broader your circle is the more perspective you have. And I feel like coming here and meeting a lot of people, I was blessed to get different perspectives. And with perspective comes resources. But they don't have that. They don't have that support to give them that scope. So me just helping them to connect to a different perspective, to connect to a different view of things, to connect to resources, that gives me so much gratification.
And I think also it's important to help people actually believe that they could improve their lives.
Yes.
because they might
Yes.
see it. You know, they
And,
might
and
see
a lot
someone
of times
else.
it's so simple.
Yes, they might see someone else that has certain things, you know, whether it's a career or money or, you know, whatever it is.
Hmm.
They might think, oh, well, I could never have that. But how do you do that? How do you make them believe that they could have those things?
Relatability. I feel like when someone relates to what you're saying, because I'm not going into these shelters, like, mind you, I like to dress up and I like to do my makeup and I like to look with my lipstick and all of that. But behind all of that, I'm just a simple girl from Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been to shelters because I work with a shelter near me, and a lot of Jamaicans are in that shelter. And I feel like when they see me come in, it makes them feel so good. Just to see somebody that looks like them,
Mm-hmm.
that has the same background as them, doing something like this. So it's just like relatability. I can relate to you because such and such and such. So I try to find things that I can relate to them. And you don't want to go in there, and because you can misconstrue this, because you don't want to go in and you don't want to say things like, oh, I was that. I was the same. I was this. I was that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to do that. You just want to empower from, I can relate to you because, you know, this happened and this helped me to be a better this.
Yeah.
But I'm not coming
Yeah.
in to either judge, or I'm not coming in to say, oh, well, that happened to me and look at me.
Yeah. I think sometimes there can be that temptation to kind of mold somebody into maybe what you think they should be, or assume that they might want some of the things that you want,
Mm-mm.
but they don't necessarily.
Do. So it's just like empowering them from them.
Yeah.
So it's not what I want, and you're not here to please me. It's just, what would you like? And if you
Yeah.
don't know what you would like, let's figure it out. What
Yeah.
makes you feel good?
I'm laughing because I'm thinking of something that happened to me when I was right out of college. I did not know what I wanted to be when I grew up at that point. Well, actually, I knew I wanted to work in publishing, but that's a whole other conversation. But I really was at a loss. Like, I don't know where to apply for a job. You know, I don't know what to do. So there was this other young woman, but she was older than me and a little more established in her career. She helped me. And what she did was she did my resume. It basically was like hers. Not obviously
Mm.
like she changed it so that it reflected what work I actually did, but she applied for jobs that in her profession. She was
Mm.
in manufacturing, which was like so foreign to me and
Yeah.
absolutely no interest in it. But I remember looking back on it, she never asked me, what would
What
you want to
you
do?
wanted.
Yes, never
She was
asked
just
me.
helping you from her.
Yes, she was trying to make
Yeah.
me her.
Yes. And a
And
lot of the time, that is why it is important to have a background. So that's why I did the certificate in this wellness, because it tells you that this is not about you.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not. So I'm not coming here to tell you to wear a lipstick either. I'm just telling you how a lipstick makes me feel.
well, what woman doesn't like, you know, or girl, what who doesn't like,
Yeah,
you know, beauty stuff, right? Like most of us do, not everybody, but a lot of
they
us do.
do. They do.
You know, you
They
see
do.
something sparkly, oh, what's that?
And I think before I was also telling you about my Christmas giveaway, my Christmas give
Yes,
back.
yes, I
Yeah,
was just going to
so
ask you about that.
right. So in these beauty, so I gave away 120 beauty gift bags to women in shelters. And in the bags, I had a number of things, feel good things.
Like
So
what?
so every bag, they had a lipstick and a mirror in every bag. So the rest of the bags, they had like uh face stuff like face masks, uh beauty blenders, just like body wash, body scrubs, hand creams, just any little thing that I know would make a woman feel special.
Yeah.
So we just filled these bags with a bunch of stuff that we had.
Where
So,
did you
I
get it?
know stuff like that. What woman for real?
Do you just go buy it, or did you
Yes,
get
I did. I did. I feel like I need a system because I want to go bigger next year.
Yeah, I wrote on Instagram to Lancome, like big brands.
Mm-hmm.
I also sent a message to J-Lo, but she has not responded yet.
I saw, I saw. So
She's
I
from the
did some of that
Bronx.
too. Like reached out to. So this year, as I said, I have to get some real big sponsorship because I want to go huge this December. Coming next Christmas 2021, I want to do, this was 120, I want to do 500.
Yeah, I think that that's probably something that takes some time. So start now.
It does. You have to call, I feel like you have to do the calling and call up these brands. And as I said before, I think I did call a couple of them and I missed the deadlines.
Oh,
Right. So
okay.
I'm about that this year, making sure that I'm on these deadlines, trying to get these lipsticks, these beauty products, because I want to go bigger this year.
Well, do a link or something too. I mean, I'm sure I would donate. My audience, I'm sure, would donate.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're donating money or who knows, if somebody's listening that actually has a connection somewhere with a beauty company, let us know.
I will. So people can always throughout the year donate on my website. Just hit the donate button. So throughout the year, redlipsforchange.org. You can always donate through that.
Yeah. And
And
don't just go through your makeup bag and give us your old crusty.
no, I need sealed
Yes.
things.
Just in case there's any question about
you
it.
can buy them and never use, as long as they're sealed. I will take them from your house, but it has to be sealed.
Okay, so some of the bigger brands, they're not in a package. They're not sealed. Like, I don't know. It's been a while since nobody needs lipstick right now because we all have to wear masks when we go out. But
so hopefully by the end of the year.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You got a year. You got a whole year now.
I do have a whole year to plan.
And you know what I like about this? People might initially say, well, don't women in a shelter need so many other things more than they need lipstick? But you talked earlier, it's really about self-care and feeling good about yourself.
Right. So the lipstick is just a beauty tool. It's just a reminder. So we don't focus as much on the lipstick. It's the message that the lipstick brings. It's the reminder that the lipstick brings. So I know that they have all these issues and they couldn't care less about a lipstick, but it's the message that the lipstick brings. It's just when I see this lipstick, I'm reminded that I need to take care of myself. I need to rejuvenate so that I can pour from a full jar.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you see for the future of Red Lips? What would you love Red Lips to become? What's your vision?
So what I would love Red Lips to become is, I would love if Red Lips can be in much more organizations, having these workshops, these wellness workshops, helping women to, like, stopping them before they go out in the world, putting together what I need now, what I want to do, package for them. So I want to be in lots more shelters, lots more organizations, even hospitals, having my workshops, empowering women that are there, reminding them that they need to take care of themselves and giving them this wellness coaching to get them to achieve their highest goals.
So you've referenced the women's shelters a lot. Is there are there other audiences or segments of the population that you would serve as well?
Hospitals, because what we don't realize is that there's a lot of programs in hospitals. Even the city hospitals, they have like a lot of classes for drug use. They have a lot of classes for pregnant women. So, I see myself in that same atmosphere, because wellness is important. Taking care of yourself is important. And with Red Lips, I want to stress that we provide self-awareness options that creates healthy alternatives for growth, primarily focusing on the underserved population. But what we want to do is we want to provide those healthy alternatives. We want to say, are you want to introduce you to yoga. We want to introduce you to Reiki. We want to introduce you to counseling. We want to introduce you to fitness. So what the workshops would incorporate is a yoga person, a fitness person, whatever their need is. So we're introducing you, we're helping you, we're letting you see that meditation is important. So we're bringing in someone who is going to help you to meditate so that you can be clear about your goals. So, wellness from a alternative point of view.
Yeah. It's all part of the self-care. Like, I know I should meditate and I feel good when I meditate, but I don't do it that often. I don't even know
It's just
why.
like, I didn't know I would like yoga so much, but I do. So it's just like so alarming, because I would see it and I'd be like, maybe not, but I love it.
Maybe later. Yeah. Well, actually, yoga is really good.
Like it. So, introducing people to things that they would not so readily do.
Yeah. And it can actually seem like an indulgence, right? Like,
yes,
who are these people that have time to
do this,
do their yoga and their meditation? But, especially for me, I find that I'm so much calmer and focused when I'm meditating, which also begs the question, why don't I do it every day?
Me too. Like, I do like meditation. I feel like it's just such good cleansing.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the perspective and the resources, how would you know?
Yes, there's I don't know if this is still considered good science, but there's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Yes.
And the whole idea behind it is that you have to provide for your basic needs first, like food and housing and medical treatment or whatever those basic human needs are, before you can start thinking about, oh gosh,
other things,
I'd really love to meditate because it makes me feel so good, or I don't know.
But you would surprise that you have the time and the space to do it.
Yeah,
you
do. I always say that
other time doing other things.
Yes. Like, I mean, I don't know if you do this, but I spend really too much time scrolling through Instagram.
Me too. No, honestly. And I could take 15 minutes from that scroll time and just do something else. And that's the thing, like, people will be like, oh, I don't have time to do that. You might have time. You might have the time if you put something else, you prioritize differently.
Yes.
But like
prioritize.
I scroll a lot.
No, me too. Too much, Camille. I got a problem. I'm like a teenage girl.
I can tell you. So just like prioritizing, but I think time is something that people swear they don't have.
We all have the same amount of time, right? In a day.
Yeah,
we all do. And I find myself saying that I don't have time. What you really mean, and people just need to acknowledge this, even if it's just to themselves, what you really mean, it's not a priority. I don't have time to.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah. I don't have time to. My favorite is I don't have time to go to the gym or exercise. Yeah, you do. You
I
just, it's
do.
not that important.
Cause you know what? I'm an early riser.
I'm
Like I
not.
wake up early regardless. So for me to open my mouth and say I don't have time to go to the gym, I'm lying. I just don't want to go.
Yes, right. At least you admit it. You're honest. I don't
No,
want
I know.
to.
I just don't like. I know like all these eating healthy, doing the right thing. I'm just not doing it.
Oh God, Camille. I had, before we started this, somebody sent me, because it's the time of year, right? It's Christmas time, so
Hmm.
everyone's sending cookies. They sent me cookies, and today was the day that I was going to be really good, but I saw those damn cookies, and it's like, not, it wasn't even, 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sitting there eating cookies. It's like, really?
Yeah, it's just like it's just constraint, like for
It,
me. And we have to know our weaknesses.
well, mine's
Yeah,
food for
my
sure.
weakness, like one of the things that I struggle with is consistency. So I'm a
Me
strong
too.
starter.
Me too, Camille. And I
I am a
a lot of people.
strong starter. Like I'll start. But just to be consistent, that's something that I have. Like I said, I think I said that I one of the things that I do is I make my bed.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yes, I have to because it's just a part of me being consistent with something. So
Is
I
your
make sure I make my bed.
is your bed though? Is it like do you have a top sheet and then a blanket and it's got to get tucked in and all that? Do you have all that going on?
I do, and I have the cushions, and I have the pillows, and I have the throw across my bed. So it's not just making the bed and just be
Okay.
done with it. I
That is a
have
commitment.
Yeah, I have a
That is a
whole
commitment.
thing going.
So I have the kind of bed. There is a top sheet, but so I do, or a flat sheet, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
But I just have a big fluffy comforter.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and then that's it. So all I do, I'm like, really, if you can't make the bed, you got a problem in my house, because I basically just take it,
And yeah,
like
fold it
fan
up
it
and you're
out
done.
and
No,
it's
I have
done.
the fitted sheet. I have the sheet, and then I have the comforter, and then I have the pillows and the throw and the cushions.
Okay, so you're doing when you commit to making the bed every day, that's actually a real commitment. For me,
Right.
my
So I'm
boyfriend
doing the
was
whole thing.
yeah, my boyfriend was teasing me. He's like, "Sweetie, don't tell me you made the bed, okay? Like there's one blanket on it." It's
Yeah,
a
me making
win.
the bed, and I want to make my own bed because you're not gonna fix my cushions how I want them.
Yes.
So I'll do
Yes.
it.
Yes. I agree with that too. It's got to be done a certain way. So
Yeah,
you're like a one woman show right now. I mean,
I am.
you're
Except for my board, I
okay.
have a board. So I have to because I need help.
Yeah, yeah, any woman running a business at some point,
Yeah,
it just becomes more than you can do if you want to
but I
grow.
feel like once I start getting these contracts, I will. I will. And on my website, I need people signing up for if you're a fitness person, you're a yoga person, because how I do it is I contract these people.
So they would be paid.
Right. They are going to be paid. So I'm contracting people for, and it's whatever you charge an hour. That's it. You
And
get paid.
are there
So
anybody that needs legal services of any kind?
legal services, I'm not sure, but it depends on the need. So
Yeah.
even if they need, you could sign up on the website and make sure you put your information for legal services. So whenever Red Lips goes somewhere and they're like, we need a lawyer, we need somebody who can come into these people, even something that do you do immigration law?
I personally don't, but I know a lot of immigration attorneys.
Yeah. Do you do like domestic violence, stuff like that?
I do family law, so anything that falls under that umbrella, but I'm not bar admitted in New York, only in New Jersey.
Mm.
But I have a big network of attorneys and women in other professions, so I'm sure that there's some people in New York that might be interested.
Yeah, once they sign up on the website, then I'm pulling from that wherever the need is. So let's say I have a contract in Brooklyn, then I have to use people in Brooklyn that are
Yeah.
available. So it's just like taking my time to build a network of people.
Yeah. And as far as who would volunteer to do this or who you would compensate, you need like a really quite an array of different professionals. Like you said, a fitness coach or something like that.
Right.
Do they necessarily have to be in New York? Obviously, the lawyer would have to be in New York, but so a lot of these things people are doing remotely. So are you looking?
No, I don't think so. I think wherever you are, whoever is available.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so whoever's listening, I might have quite a network of incredible women and professionals.
Right,
Check.
so
I'll
it's
have a link to your website.
redlipsforchange.org, and it when you go on the website, work with us, and you fill out that form, and it goes straight to me.
Well, I'll have a link to your website in the notes, in the show notes for this episode, and to your social media pages.
Okay, nice.
So I love the organization. I love everything that it's about. I really wish you so much success with this.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for this platform.
Of course.
For spreading the word. I do appreciate it.
Well, I'm so glad that Nadia, our mutual friend Nadia, introduced us.
Yes, she's great.
She's also an incredible example of a woman with a purpose and a mission. She's
right. She's out here doing it.
Yeah, she really is. So, is there anything else that you would want to draw attention to and use this platform to draw attention? Are there any events or projects that you're working on that we could help you with?
Well, we are just in the stages where we're trying to put everything together. So if someone is listening and they needed to see how they can volunteer, how they can work with us, just go on the website and you can sign up. You can also contact me, email me. The link will be in the info.
Yes,
so
in the show
you can
notes.
always reach out to me. I will speak with anyone who wants to help, who knows how we can get more beauty products. If you know a shelter that need wellness, let me know.
You live in the Bronx too?
Pardon?
You live in the Bronx too?
I do live in the Bronx. Yeah.
That's so cool. You're awesome. I'm afraid to even take the subway just because I'm one of those people that gets lost going around the block.
No, I don't like the subway either. And I know it. Like, I'm not getting lost. I just don't want to take it.
Oh, okay.
I don't take the subway for nothing. Like, I drive everywhere.
Oh, in New York, isn't that a pain?
I do. The parking gods are always with me. I get parking. I will drive somewhere and I will say somebody's gonna move right now, and somebody moves right now, and I get a spot.
This might be something you need to conquer.
Yeah, the train.
Yeah, I do too. Maybe we could do that together. You're like, nope, not on my to-do list in 2021.
But the thing is, I used to take the train to work all the time, even when I worked in Brooklyn.
So you just don't like it. It's not your jam.
Yeah, I just got over it. I was just like, I'm over this train.
Okay.
Thing.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I can get that.
But I used to take the train all the time because I used to work in Times Square with Nadia.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds so exciting, right? But you're like, eh.
I'm just over it now.
Yeah, right. See, it's just what's become familiar. So I have to ask you a question that might seem a little weird and it's totally off topic, but we've established that I'm a foodie.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could tell me, being a native of Jamaica, like what's traditional food there?
Traditional food, jerk chicken. A lot of people love jerk chicken.
I always hear that, but I always think, is that really, does everybody really eat that, or is that just become the meal that everyone associates with Jamaica?
Let me see. Yeah, I feel like people love jerk chicken in Jamaica. So what else we love? Oxtail. What else we love? Curry goat.
Oh man, that sounds exotic. I don't know if I'm that adventurous.
Curry goat.
Rice?
Pardon?
No. Rice?
Rice. Yeah. Rice and peas, rice and beans. I mean, we say rice and peas.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But
So I learned
yeah, rice
something
and
there.
peas with jerk chicken. What
Do
else
you
we love?
do you cook? Do you
I
make do
cook
you
a
cook?
lot. Yeah, I do cook. My
So are
cousin
you,
just called me to make him oxtail.
oh, I lost your video for a second.
Okay. I'm back.
So
Yeah.
do you make Jamaican food or do you
I
just make
do
all
make
different kinds of
Jamaican
stuff?
food. Yeah.
And do you feel like there are some really good, authentic Jamaican restaurants that you can go to in New
Here?
York? Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of Jamaican restaurants here.
Are they good though?
Yeah,
Okay, they're good.
they are good. Like the ones that I go to, they're good. There's one in, where is that? I think it's somewhere downtown. Oh, I can't remember where it is, but it's called Amar's Kitchen. And it's good. I feel like I like fish. I like a good fried fish.
Hmm.
And they do it like Jamaica. So I was pleased. And there's a space that I go to buy me. It's called Crave. And they're very authentic. Their fried chicken is really good.
Oh, good. I want to try
Yeah.
it. I just want to eat my way around the world. I love.
No. You can find, like, trust me, if you know that you're coming into New York and you want to go somewhere, like, you can hit me up. I can tell you, like, try here, try there.
Yeah, I'm always trying to find that where the really authentic places are. Like a great example is the Chinese food that most Americans eat is really disgusting and it's not really representative of
Yeah.
real authentic Chinese food. But there are some places that you can go where you
In Chinatown.
yes, right? Like that
Yeah,
you
I've been to some. And it
and
tastes different from the ones that we would
it's
buy around the block.
it is, right? It's different.
Yeah.
It's not like, sweet and sour or General
No.
So's.
It's like going to Italy and finding out that they don't eat certain things that you get in an Italian restaurant here.
Yes,
So
that's
it's
so
just like, but
true.
if you want, we could do lunch sometime and we
Yes.
could go to a Jamaican place.
I would love to do that. Oh my God, that's like right up my alley. I think I need to start a whole new show where I just find
Just
people
talk
like
about food.
you. I find immigrants and we go to their
Different place.
restaurants where
I'm into that.
we can do it together. Let's talk about it.
Right. So yeah, we could definitely have lunch at a Jamaican place if you want to.
Okay. Oh gosh, this is an awesome hookup. Thank you, Camille.
Yes.
All right. So I had to ask that question. And for anybody who's listening, I'm going to put links to these places that you recommended.
Yes,
because
yes.
we can't be friends if you're not a foodie. Okay.
No, I'm a foodie and I'll eat. I'll try stuff. I will. I
Yeah.
will try stuff.
Yeah, I will too. I will too. All right. Well, thank you again. And I wish you the best in 2021.
I wish you the best also. Sending
Thank
that
you.
blessings right back at you.